Thank you for joining us today at this memorial service at one of the places that Paul truly loved. He really did enjoy his time at this golf course, and he'd be happy to see you all. When Paul asked me to speak at this special moment in time, I told him that it would be one of the finest honors of my life, and it is. However, for a time, it became a heavy burden. How could I possibly ever memorialize and accurately describe this good man's life's works in just a few moments? And for a short time, I felt it was an impossible task. But then I recalled one of our final conversations, and it led me to the scriptures of our Lord's Word that perfectly describe the life of our good friend. I'll be reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not rude, it is not proud. It is not easily angered, it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Fittingly, those words were written by the Apostle Paul. Now let's take a minute to compare those words to our friend Paul. Paul was patient, whether sitting on the porch at the golf course or on a stool at his watering holes. He would patiently listen to anyone who spoke to him, never in a hurry, and always willing to give you as much of his time as you needed. In all weathers, he was a true friend. Paul was kind. Paul Beech was the only man I've ever known that I've never heard a cross word spoken about. Loved by all because he was kind to all. Even if he didn't really care for someone, he was still kind and showed respect to them, a true testament to his life. He did not envy and he did not boast. Though many had much more than him, Paul was perfectly content with the life he had carved out for himself. Paul placed much more value in his friendships and family than any material objects. And if the measure of a man is the friendships he creates and the memories he leaves behind, Paul Beech was as rich a man as I have ever met. He was not proud, and he was not rude. Paul was full of pride. Pride as a father, as a brother, as a friend. Many times I watched him swell up with pride when we would win a golf tournament, or even the weekly low ball. He was certainly prideful about his golf game. But in life, he was not proud. Never once did I see him look down his nose at anyone. Whether you were a prince or a pauper, Paul treated you as his equal. He was not self-seeking or easily angered. For sure, he was one of the most selfless people I have ever met. And as far as not easily angered, I cannot recall ever seeing him angry. Frustrated once or twice, maybe, but I never saw this good man actually blow his top. He kept no records of wrongs. At times like these, it is easy to focus on the good memories. But Paul was handed more than his share of tragedy and loss throughout his lifetime. Losing 2 of his sons before their time burdened him for sure. But he did not hold a grudge over it. He lived his life as positive as he could, knowing that one day his questions would be answered. And my friends, today those questions are answered for him. He always protected and trusted those close to him. It was his nature. He always held out hope. Whether it was hope to play one more round of golf or sing White Sport Coat one more time for all those who loved him so much, hope really did spring eternal for Paul Beech. And finally, he did persevere. It is hard to recall how many times we counted Paul out. Time after time, we got the phone call that he was in the hospital and the doctor said he would never make it out of there. But time after time, he would fool us all and be back at the golf course playing golf or singing at Connie's. And that, I think, is the greatest testament to his life. As much as we loved him, we must understand that he loved us as much or more. So much that he persevered time after time so he could spend at least one more day with us, his family, his friends. The Apostle Paul wrote those verses and those words in his chapter on love. And our friend Paul was living testimony to those words and to the fact that love never fails. Loved you are, Paul Beech. Missed you will be. Forget you we will not. Goodbye, my good friend.